Okay, so what we're going to do in this video here is I'm going to walk you through how to set up the Excel spreadsheet for your practice problem. So if you take a look, this is the sheet that you provided for your practice problem. It says that your dad wants to use his shed as a woodworking shop. So he wants you to help him figure out what size heater he needs. That way he can work in the winter. Now it says right here in the prompt that the footprint of the shed is 12 feet by 24 feet, and it's got a simple shed style roof. Now, if you look at it, this is a picture here that actually explains or shows you what a shed style roof is. It's basically one small angled face up on the ceiling. That way the rain or the snow can basically drain off of it on its own with the use of gravity. There is an 8 by 8 foot garage door that's made up of just plywood on the front, and it's centrally located on that wall. The floor is a slab foundation about 8 inches thick. There's a single pane window on each side, so something like this, but a single pane window on each side. That way we can let in some natural light. Okay, and then it describes the cross sections that exist. Okay, the desired internal temperature is 68 degrees in the winter, and we'll say that the average outside temperature is 42. Okay, we're going to assume that the temperature below the slab maintains a constant temperature of 55 degrees. So those values will help us with our delta T values. Okay, now since we have a shed style roof, um, we're going to use the average height for the walls. So the average height is going to be 9 feet. We're going to use that for our calculations. Okay. Now you're also going to need to have this sheet open here. This is going to give us some different resistivity values. That way we can calculate our various U factors for the cross sections. Now, if you take a look at this, I've already given you guys a blank format. That way it's set up very nicely for you. That way all you really need to do is to fill in the numbers and to fill in the calculations. So this will be helpful. You can use this for your practice problem, and you can also use this for your assignment when you do it. We just have to basically save a copy for your assignment. So if we take a look at this, what we're going to do is we're going to start filling in the numbers for areas. That's the easiest thing to do. So the length, what we're going to use is 24. And for the height, we're going to fill in 9. And we know that we have 2 walls that have that size, so we'll put the value 2 there. Okay. Now the same thing here, except I'm going to change this value. It's 12 by 9. And I know that I have 2 here. Okay, my windows, if I go back and look at my word sheet here, you see that they're 24 inches by 30 inches. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to convert that to feet. So 24 is 2, and 30 inches is 2.5. So I'll type that in. And then I have 2 windows. I'll put 2 there. Okay, my door is going to be 8 feet by 8 feet. I only have 1 door, so I can leave that there. And what I'm going to do here, my net walls, I'm going to skip that for a second. Okay, and then I'm going to fill in my ceiling and my floor areas. So I got 24 by 12, and I got 24 by 12. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go over to the next tab where I have all those numbers filled in. All right, so what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to go ahead and calculate my areas, and I'm just going to use my formulas here. Okay, so I'm going to go equals, and I'm going to do some basic multiplication. This 24 times 9 times the 2, okay? And then I'm going to do the same thing here for each of my areas, for each of my lines. And I realize you might need to pause and go back and rewind this video as needed, so feel free to do so. And I'm just calculating my various areas. Okay, now the reason why I have a blank line here is because I didn't have any windows in one of those walls. Okay, go ahead and calculate my area. Okay, now for my net walls, let's go ahead and calculate these first for the ceiling and the floor, since we are already doing our calculations here. Okay, and for my net, what I need to do here is I've got to add these two values together because that's the surface area of the walls. But then I've got to subtract the window and the door because that is not included there. So I'm going to, in this case, I'm going to say equals. I'm going to add the two areas together for my gross walls, and then I'm going to subtract the area for the windows and the door. Okay, and that's going to have my areas complete. Okay, now I'm ready to start looking at my U factors. Okay, now for my U factors, I've gone ahead and listed all the different things that we need to look at here: the walls, windows, doors, ceiling, floor. And every single one of those is going to have an air film involved. So for the air films, I'm going to go ahead and put in for the inside air film is 0.68, and I'm going to go ahead and enter that for all of these here. Okay. And for the outside air film, I'm going to have 0.17. Okay, I'm going to enter that in for almost everything, and we'll talk about that in just a second. I'm not going to put an outside air film for the floor because the bottom of the floor doesn't have an outside air film, or else it would be floating in the sky. So we don't have that. It doesn't apply here. Now these other values, these cells here, that's where we're going to go back and look at this chart here to fill in our values. Okay, so for the wall, it says that we have 3/4 inch plywood and a 1/2 inch plywood. So I'm going to go to my sheet here and look up those values. I'll have 0.65 and 0.95. Okay, so I'll fill those in appropriately. Whoop. All right, back on my Excel sheet. For my windows, okay, I'm going to need to use single thickness glass, which is 0.88, because this is a single pane window. And for my door, I'm going to use the wood. For the ceiling, I'm going to need the same thing as the walls, but I'm going to add a value for shingles. Okay, and the shingles are right here, the 0.86. Okay, and then for my floor, I'm going to use the 8-inch concrete. So I'll look up here, there's 8-inch concrete, and that's 0.64. Now I've gone ahead and filled those numbers in. So if you want to fill yours in, that'll be fine. And then what I've done here is I've filled those numbers in. So you might want to pause and get those filled in to make sure that you're ready to go. Okay. Now that we have all these values filled in, we're going to calculate our actual U values. Okay. Our U values here, we're going to calculate with the formula equals, and I'm going to go sum. I'm going to add all the values across this row, and I'm going to raise that to the -1 power. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. There's my value. Now I don't need to re-enter that formula. I can very simply copy and paste that. And I'm taking care of that right now. And there we go. There's all of our U factors, all finished. Okay, our U factors are finished. Now we got to worry about our design temperature difference. So here for the walls and the ceiling, the windows, the door, we're going to have an inside temperature of 68 and an outside temperature of 42. For the floor, the inside temperature is still the same, but the outside temperature is going to be 55. So all I really need to do here is just subtract the two numbers, and I can get my design temperature difference for this particular example, for this practice problem. And there we go. Now the temperature is now finished. Okay. And what we're going to do now is we're going to look at infiltration. Now infiltration, we'll look at the north-south windows, north-south doors, east-west windows, east-west doors. So here what we've got to do is we've got to calculate the perimeter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up and down on this spreadsheet a little bit. I'm going to go equals, and I'm going to go up, and I'm going to say for my window, I'm going to add this to that, and I'm going to add it again because I'm taking the perimeter, so I've got to add 2 of those distances. I'm basically going around the outside of the window, and I'll go back up to my formula tab or my sheet here, and I'm going to multiply that by 2 because there's 2 windows. But remember, with windows, I got to multiply it by 75%. Okay, and there we go. That's our infiltration here. Now we don't have any doors on those, so I'm going to go ahead and hit 0. And I don't have any windows on the other 2 walls either, but I do have a door. So I'm going to go ahead and calculate my perimeter. Now the perimeter is very easy because in this case it's an 8 by 8 door. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do 4 times 8, and that's going to give me my perimeter. Now I need the worst case scenario. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do equals, and I'm going to say max, because that's going to give me the maximum value, and I'll highlight all of those, and that'll be our max CFM value. And we'll be ready to move on to actually calculate our Q, or our heat values here. Now the Q values that we're going to need, and it looks like here I've forgotten a line for my infiltration. So I'm going to go ahead and insert a row for that. Oh, except I want to insert it below there. My fault. And I'm going to call this infiltration. Okay. Now for my values that I'm going to do here, I'm going to use the same formula, Q equals UA delta T. So you're going to need to scroll back and forth in a lot of these, in up and down on the spreadsheet. So I'm going to say Q, which is what we're calculating, equals U, I'll find my U factor for the wall, times the area for the walls, the net walls, times my delta T, which is here, okay? Now I'm going to go through, you need to go through and do that for each of these here, okay? All right, and the last one that we're going to do is the infiltration. Okay, let me just delete this out because you guys can go ahead and just do that and then check your values here. For the infiltration, we use a different formula. It's 1.08 times CFM times delta T. So we'll go equals 1.08 times our CFM value times our delta T, which is 26, and there we go. So here we have all of our Q values done. The last step is that we need to go ahead and add them together. So I'm going to go equals sum, and I'm going to select all of these values here, and that's going to give me my overall. I need to put my unit. My unit's going to be BTUs per hour. Okay, now just to make this a little nice and neat, I'm going to change this. I'm going to reformat it. That way it's a nice even decimal place number. I'm going to go ahead and leave it to 2 decimal places. That looks a little bit nicer. So this is my answer for the practice problem. Okay, hope you did that. If you have any questions, let me know.